The sixth annual Battle of the Bears. And especially we have a bunch of thank yous to go through, but we're going to start with the families because you guys support the rowers today and throughout the season, whether that means getting them to practice, getting them to races, carpooling with other families, and even uploading tons and tons of pictures to band, which is just fantastic. In particular, we have to thank Dr. Abari, who's taking pictures right now, of course. He's doing 4K video and uploading it to band. It's just amazing. A quick story about him and his level of effort this fall. He talked his way into a very exclusive rowing club at the Heather Charles, and he pretended to be a member of the media. And they believed him. And he's right at the last turn on the Heather Charles, right before the Elliott Bridge, and he's getting pictures of our crew going through, which was just fantastic. But thank you, families, for your support all through the season.
And thank you, LAR, but thank you to the Moores for hosting a big pasta dinner last night. Required a little extra prep and extra work because of such a large group, so thank you so much for doing that for the group.
Thank you to the Mystic Seaport. Families may not know that the Seaport has let us row out of here for 27 years. And this year in particular, we had on the docks behind you 7 8s and 3 4s. The team is very big this season, and they moved floats around to give us enough dock space, which was just terrific. They've also gave us the docks for the kids to keep their belongings after school. Gave us the toy boat shed as a study area, and of course they gave us this beautiful spot here, which, where's Kate Runzel? Where's Kate? We've seen what going on here?
Functions!
Couple of functions! Now we've got our own function going on here, so thank you to the Mystic Seaport as well.
I don't know where she is, but Carrie Moore just texted me to tell us to introduce ourselves. Because apparently you guys haven't heard enough about us. So I'm Sally Machen, I'm the boys' head coach. This is John Cornell, the girls' head coach. Haley Art, novice girls' coach. And then John Drago, our novice boys' coach. Alright, and then I have some thank yous for fall cruise this year. Really fun day with everybody. Thanks in general to all of the kids that volunteered, all of the parents that volunteered. We had a long list of volunteers that made that day run smoothly. So thank you to all of you who helped run that. Carrie Moore in particular kind of spearheaded fall cruise and got everything organized volunteers. And organized ticket sales and all the things. So thank you, Carrie. And then Michelle Batone helped with food, and she helped organize volunteers earlier in the week to also make sure that food was all prepped. So thank you so much to Michelle. And then Kristen Abari did a fantastic job on all of the basket raffle prizes. She took that over, and we had some great basket raffle prizes and made that really successful. So thank you so much to Kristen.
I'd like to also thank our annual sponsors that we have. Black Market Spirits, Sharenzian Associates, Hall Law Associates, Masons Island Marina. Many of the sponsors were here earlier today. Mystic Financial Group, Mystic Knotwork, Orthopedic Partners Group, S&P Oyster Restaurant, Morgan Stanley, Somewhere in Time Cafe, Ace Overhead Door, Charles Schwab, Fitnostics, and Golden Trainer Insurance. These are our annual sponsors, so they pay to be a sponsor all year long. We have other sponsors that we thank for other events like the upcoming Erg raffle, But with this whole sponsorship program, it is our biggest fundraiser. We started this 7 years ago because families do a lot of fundraising, they do a lot of volunteering, they also pay for rowing fees. So we created the sponsorship program for a separate source of income without taking too much more time from families. And over the last couple of years, it's been run by 1 or 2 people. This year we have Kirk Kramer is helping. Carol Walters is helping. Is she here still? She's here. She's helping as well for this upcoming year. So if you do know of any local businesses, employers, families that might want to support the team, it's a great organization for them to align themselves with. We're highly visible in the community. People love, and kids love it too, going downtown. Tourists get out with their phones and they're taking pictures, and it's just a great organization to be associated with. And the fundraising, like I said, this is our biggest fundraiser with the fewest amount of volunteer hours required. So it's a really good return for us. So if you know of any sponsors or any local businesses that would like to help out, please let one of us know. All right? But thanks again to all those sponsors.
Our next thank you is towards something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, I think, and that is Chuck Wagon. We very much appreciate having food to eat and also having hot beverages on cold rowing days. So thank you so much to John Flaherty, who's been our big Chuck Wagon fan. And then Amy Renzel, Steve Plant, and the Boyers have also been helping to make Chuck Wagon run smoothly.
So by now you understand we're stretching this out as far as we can until we announce the winners. We're going to do a quick recap of the boys team and the girls team. I'll start off with the girls team, and Coach Kelly will have some words about our awesome novice. I think the highlight for me on the girls team was that, and it sounds kind of basic, but we had 2 8s. The first time I was coaching with Layla, we had 2 8s at that time, and it hasn't happened since. COVID came, and then we're rebuilding the team. So this year, for me to have 2 8s in the water was just a real treat. I'll apologize one more time to the girls that unfortunately rowed with me in the launch, and I get so excited about having 2 8s. Like, this is great! This is the way it should be all the time. Yes, Coach, we understand, Coach, that's great. Up to this point, the 4 single varsity 8 that I had would race the launch. So they'd race me with a 15 horsepower outboard, and it just doesn't compare. It's just such a better environment to be with your teammates, training on the water, pushing one another, trying to be the best that you can with your teammates right there. So I'm super, super thrilled to have 2 8s. And we actually had 3 varsity 8s, but because, we'll talk about this in a second, but because varsity rowers can't row novice, we had 7 novice row up to varsity level. So we had 4 8s in the girls team overall, which is just terrific. Specific to the varsity girls though, start with the varsity 2 boat. Sometimes when you make lineups, they just click, and this group of girls really did click well. They accelerated nicely, bodies moved nicely together, almost from day one. The challenge they had was doing that on race day. And I remember a couple of races, they come off the water and they go, we did it again, we did it again. They didn't row together. And they knew right away what to do. And they could do it in practice. And the challenge for them was to do that on race day. And I'm very happy that they were able to do that for New England's, or Northeast Regionals now, like they call it. And they won something. What did you guys get? Bronze medal. Bronze medal. I think was the first to the team to be able to do that. Varsity 4, we had another bid for the Heather Charles, which was terrific. And these girls, they came together with a new lineup. Last year we had rowers that had rowed together previously for our first entry in the Charles. And these girls, to their credit, really worked hard to come together as a boat. They would, I joke with them, have boat meetings off to the side without me, which is fine. But they're chatting on what they need to do to improve every length, every practice, and they did. And they had the best race at the Head of Charles. They were only a few seconds off the time that they had the year before. Unfortunately, the rest of the field was wicked fast. Even Old Line, who typically is in their 4 school, and they're in the top half, and they always get a guaranteed entry, they finished outside the top half. Just something about this year, a lot of competitive crews. So they fell in the standings a little bit as did Old Line, but they were able to put together the best race on that day, and it was a lot of fun. The first varsity 8, I think raced together once all season. Is that right? Well, the second one, half the boat was sick, so that doesn't really count either. So they just had a string of bad luck. They did have some terrific practices, rode well here, but whether it was illness or equipment breaking, thank you to the Frasers for really making me become an expert in foot stretcher repair. It just, they didn't get together as much as we wanted to row. So I think, being someone that looks on the positive side, I think they had about a year's worth of bad luck this season. So that can only mean that the rest of the year is just going to be perfect, and the spring season is going to be without event and be very, very successful. So I'm looking forward to that. Overall, we had 37 girls this year on the girls team, and huge numbers. We haven't had that. You were here, and you were rowing. Yeah. So you were bigger than that. Yeah. So it's great to see that growth. It's great to see the interest, and with that kind of depth, I just think everyone gets better. You've got your teammates to support you, and we're about to get into winter training, and that's going to be an absolute blast. The neighbors probably won't like it that much because we're really loud, but that'll be a blast. And then, of course, we get on the water again, and we could pick up some more girls who were doing fall sports, so we could be north of 40 girls this spring, which would be just awesome. So, very exciting fall season. Already looking forward to spring next year, and winter training prepared soon. Thank you.
So Coach Linnell talked a lot about our season, which is awesome. So we're super excited. We had 16 novice again this year for girls. So we were able to race a novice 8. We did a novice 4 for winter races, and then, as he said too, we had 7 novice rowers row up in the V3 boat. So it was a lot of fun for everyone to be able to be on the water every single day. And I know the girls in the novice 4 had a blast with that and kept begging me to enter it in every single race. And then we didn't hit a fish, so we're very sad about that. But it was a lot of fun overall for the whole season to have that many girls and that much depth again, because last year we also had a really nice big group. And it has been a lot of fun watching them come together as a boat, and we had girls double up for some races, and then we had days of really mixed lineups, and it was a lot of fun to just watch them row together and really come together over that short season that we have. And as Coach Linnell mentioned, the Frasers have a bad luck with foot stretchers. Harper getting in the boat, and as soon as she's sat in, she put her feet in the little shoes and then picked her foot out of the boat. Coach Gillian, my foot stretcher is not attached anymore. But we had waited 40 minutes to get down to the dock, so we were like, well, figure it out, row without a shoe. So we had that a couple times, which is always fun to row through. But she made it work, and she did awesome with it. But yeah, I'm really excited for the spring, and the girls are going to get me a 3rd novice 8, right? Lots more girls, yes, awesome. So we're super excited about that and to keep growing our team. As Coach Linnell said, having 4 8s hasn't happened in a really long time. So the fact that we're back there and could continue to grow is super exciting. And it means the team's heading in the right direction. So everyone's doing awesome, and I'm super excited to build our strength in the winter and keep it going in the spring and have some medals.
We, in the fall, we're racing these really big clubs. We're racing kind of a mix of teams, but there's some races. I feel like in general, we've had some really solid races through the season. Every boat maybe had one race where they felt like they didn't have their best race on that day, and then turned it around and was able to figure out what they wanted to do differently and carry that through to the next race. So, let me see how far back I can think. Northeast champs, the 2V and the 1V8 both got 3rd place medals. And then I'll talk a little bit more just about our most recent race, because that's freshest in my memory and I think was a really good wrap up to the season. We had 4 boys boats place top half ahead of the fish and very competitive fields. So the boys 1B, the boys novice 8, the boys varsity 4, and then was it 4? So what did I miss it? Oh, the U17 8, thank you. So the U17 8 came 5th in their category, which was awesome. It was really fun to send that boat out, who had not gotten to practice together a whole bunch, but it gave novice and varsity a nice chance to row together and kind of get to see like what boats might look like in future years, doing a younger group. And then the 1B8 this fall, we have 3 sophomores in the 1B8 right now. So kind of a young group, so it's been really fun to see them develop and kind of like step into that varsity role this fall. And 1B8 came 10th ahead of the fish, which top 10 ahead of the fish is an awesome achievement. So I think they caught off water, felt like they had a great race, and you know, most of the crews that had the fish were really able to kind of like put together what they've been working on through the season and finish with a really great race. And then this is the part of the season where I start to get excited for winter training, which I personally think is really fun. It's a totally different way to get to see your own progress a little bit more directly over the winter. And like obviously we're excited for spring all winter, but I think it's going to be a really fun group to, especially having a lot of strong younger rowers on the team, to really see really good progress over the winter and kind of work through those things. It's going to be fun.
Novice boys, this is the first time in a long time we've had a full novice 8 in the fall. Most of the time we are racing 3D with novice in it. We managed to come middle of the pack all our bigger races, and that's against all the big club schools as well. If you look at just the CPSRA schools, they were top 1 or 2 every race. Which is pretty impressive, only having a couple of weeks to row together. Every race, they continue to improve. They beat the schools that they already beaten the week before by more. They just kept improving. It's going to be very exciting to see you guys, or what you guys can do after a couple of months of rowing together, not just 1 or 2. I think we're going to have a really good spring season, and I look forward to see where we can go from there.
So I wanted to mention one other quick thing. This is the third fall we've been as a club, right? Yeah, third fall we've been rowing as a club. And what that allows us to do is prepare for the new boathouse and doing things like registrations and so on to get ready for when the boathouse opens. And we have a community program. But it also allows us to have 9th graders row. And there was a time when we were a high school sport that 9th graders were not allowed to row. And it was really tough for us to get the rowers prepared for spring. Essentially, they would come in, they'd shove off the dock, maybe do some dockside stuff, then shove off the dock, and then they're racing 2 weeks later. So this fall season is just terrific to have with freshmen, to be able to get them into the sport, get them excited about the sport, get them really jazzed to do winter training, and then come out in the spring as well. So it's really developmentally, I think, lifted the program overall, made us much more competitive in the spring. So it's great to see. We also had today a lot of alumni coming. Some chose not to row, which we're going to rectify next year. They are going to row. But part of them coming today was to vote for the best costume. So, can we have Layla? Are you going to mention who wins the costume contest? And we have a gift card for the Anchor Cafe. Sometimes the rowers will go there before or after practice, and they get something to drink or eat before practice.
Hello, my name is River. I was captain of the team in 2019 when we did our first Battle of the Bears, and it is my honor to announce that the winners of the costume contest are the inmates.
Oh yeah, dishes, forks, things that are left. Parents, if you're missing things from your kitchen, they may be on the table over there. Go search them out. All right, so the 2024 winner of the sixth annual Battle of the Bears is the Goat Boat.